Welcome to BookPiler, where we compile the essential wisdom from the world's most impactful books to help you build a better life. In our quest for success and happiness, we often chase after more money, more opportunities, and more possessions, believing these external things hold the key. But what if the most valuable resource you will ever have, the one thing that truly separates the successful from the unsuccessful, is something you are losing every single second, often without even noticing? I'm talking about time, but not in the way you usually think about it. What if I told you that the reason you feel so busy yet so unproductive, the reason you feel like you're constantly juggling but never truly in control, is because you're treating all of your time as if it were the same? You believe that an hour spent at work is the same as an hour spent with your family or an hour thinking about your future. This, according to legendary productivity expert Brian Tracy, is the single biggest mistake we make. It's a mistake that costs our income, our relationships, and our peace of mind. Today, we are going to dismantle that mistake by diving deep into his breakthrough book, Master Your Time, Master Your Life. This isn't just another collection of time management hacks. This is a revolutionary system built on one profound idea: that there are 10 different kinds of time, and each one requires a completely different mindset and a different set of actions to master. Learning to identify and honor these different types of time is the secret to getting more results faster in every single area of your life. So prepare to see the 24 hours in your day not as a single block of time, but as a dynamic, powerful system you are about to take full control of. Let's begin with the first and most foundational type of time, the one that acts as the blueprint for your entire life: strategic planning and goal-setting time. Brian Tracy argues that the biggest single waste of time is setting off on the great adventure of life without clear, specific goals. Think about it. Most people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they do planning their entire lives. They live in what Tracy calls a reactive responsive mode, like a ship without a rudder, constantly reacting to the winds and waves of daily life. A phone call here, an email there, a request from a coworker, letting external forces dictate their direction. They throw themselves at life like a hunter who closes his eyes, shoots his rifle into the forest, and says, "I sure hope something good runs into that." But hope, as Tracy reminds us, is not a strategy. It is a recipe for failure, if not disaster. The most successful people, the top 3% who achieve extraordinary things, operate differently. They have clear, written goals and plans that they work on every single day. They know exactly who they are, what they want, and where they are going. This clarity is everything. It acts as a powerful guiding star, ensuring that every action they take is purposeful and moves them closer to their desired destination. This kind of planning doesn't happen by accident. It requires you to carve out a specific kind of time, away from interruptions and distractions, to step back and think. It requires personal strategic planning.
This process begins with asking yourself 4 fundamental questions. First, where am I now in my life? This involves a brutally honest assessment of your finances, your health, your relationships, and your career. Second, how did I get to where I am today? This is about taking responsibility, looking at the choices and decisions you made in the past that created your present reality. Third, and this is where the magic begins, where do I want to go in the future? This requires you to practice idealization. Imagine you had a magic wand and could make your life perfect in 5 years. What would it look like? Be specific. How would it be different from your life today? And finally, the fourth question, how can I get from where I am to where I want to be? What are all the different things you could do, starting today, to create that perfect future? The cornerstone of this strategic time is a powerful 7-step formula for setting and achieving goals. This is the formula that has made more people rich and successful than perhaps any other. Step 1 is to decide exactly what you want. Most people never do this. They have vague wishes like, "I want to be happy," or "I want to be rich." These are not goals, they are fantasies. A goal must be so clear and specific that you could explain it to a 6-year-old child. Step 2 is to write it down. This is critical. Only 3% of adults have written goals, and it seems that everyone else works for them. The act of writing crystallizes your thought and makes it tangible. It also allows you to make your goal measurable. If you want to be rich, put a financial measure on it. If you want to be successful, define what that means in concrete terms. You can't hit a target you can't see. Step 3 is to set a deadline. A goal without a deadline is just a dream. It has no urgency. Set a specific date for your goal. If it's a long-term goal, break it down into smaller deadlines for years, months, and weeks. Remember, there are no unreasonable goals, only unreasonable deadlines. If you miss a deadline, you simply set a new one based on the new information you have. Step 4 is to make a list of everything you can think of that you can possibly do to achieve the goal. Every single step, no matter how small. Keep adding to this list as new ideas come to you. Step 5 is to organize that list into a plan. You do this by sequence, what needs to happen first, second, third, and by priority, what is most important. An organized list becomes your plan, your blueprint for success. When you have a written goal and a plan, you are already ahead of 97% of the population. Step 6 is to take action on your plan immediately. Do something. Do anything, but get going. The first step is often the hardest, but it provides immediate feedback, gives you more ideas, and builds your self-confidence. And step 7, which may be the most important of all, is to do something every single day that moves you toward your most important goal. This activates what Tracy calls the momentum principle of success. It takes enormous energy to get a car moving from a dead stop, but much less energy to keep it moving. By doing something daily, you build and maintain momentum, making progress easier and faster over time. By dedicating specific time to this strategic thinking, you set the entire course for your life. Now, once you have your plan, you enter the second type of time, productive time, getting more done. This is the time where you execute your plan. Your ability to use this time well will have more of an effect on your career and income than any other single factor. Tracy states that the 3 most important words in thinking about personal productivity are clarity, focus, and concentration.
We've already talked about clarity in goal setting, but in productive time, clarity means continually asking the question, what results are expected of me? In life and work, results are everything. Successful people are results-oriented. They become the go-to people who can be depended on to get important things done, and done well. This builds your personal brand. When people think of you, do they think of warmth and trust? Do they think of competence and dependability? Your brand is your reputation, and it's built by the results you consistently deliver. Unfortunately, most people's productive time is being destroyed by what Tracy calls the curse of electronic interruptions. According to research, fully 50% of the workday is wasted in activities that contribute no value. The average adult checks their email 145 times a day. Each time you send or receive an email or text, your body releases a tiny amount of dopamine, a stimulant that creates a mild sense of pleasure. This causes you to unconsciously want to duplicate the feeling, leading to an addiction to distraction. You actually become dumber as the day goes on, losing IQ points as your brain becomes fatigued from constant task shifting. The solution is to treat work time as productive time, not playtime. When you go to work, work all the time you work. Put your head down and go flat out. This requires focus and concentration. Multitasking is a myth. It's really just task shifting, and it's incredibly inefficient. It takes about 17 minutes to fully refocus on an important task after being distracted. The key is to practice single-minded concentration on your most important task until it is complete. To manage this, you need a system.
The first technique is simply to make a list of everything you have to do before you begin each day. An even better habit is to make tomorrow's list the night before. Your subconscious mind will then work on that list while you sleep, and you'll often wake up with ideas and insights. Next, you must set clear priorities on that list. You will never get everything done. You must choose what to do and, just as importantly, what not to do. This is where the famous ABCDE method comes in. Go through your list and label each item. An A task is something you must do. It has serious positive or negative consequences if you do or don't do it. These are the frogs you have to eat. A B task is something you should do. It has mild consequences. The rule is, never do a B task when there is an A task left undone. A C task is something that would be nice to do, but it has no consequences whether you do it or not. This includes things like checking personal email or having coffee with a coworker. These are the tasks that trap most people. A D task is something you can delegate to someone else. The rule is to delegate everything you possibly can to free up your time for the A tasks that only you can do. An E task is something you can eliminate. These are tasks that may have been important once but are no longer necessary. Your job is to identify your A1 task, your most important task, and start on that first thing in the morning. Discipline yourself to work on it, single-mindedly, until it is 100% complete. Whenever you complete a task, especially a high-value A task, your brain releases endorphins, nature's happy drug. You feel a jolt of energy and self-esteem. This feeling of being a winner creates an upward spiral of productivity and happiness. If you are finding this systemic approach to time a new and powerful way to think, and you want to ensure you get more insights from life-changing books like this one, take just a second to click that subscribe button for our channel, BookPiler. It's the best way to keep piling up wisdom that can genuinely transform your life.
The third type of time is income improvement time. This is the time you dedicate to increasing your most valuable financial asset, which is not your house or your bank account, but your earning ability. Your earning ability is your capacity to get results that people will pay you for. Like any asset, it can either be appreciating or depreciating in value. It appreciates when you continually upgrade your knowledge and skills. It depreciates when you become complacent and your skills become obsolete. We don't have an income gap in our society so much as we have a skills gap. People with in-demand skills are always employed and well paid. Research by Anders Ericsson, the founder of Elite Performance Studies, found that most people only work to learn their jobs well enough not to get fired. After the first year, they never get any better. The top 20%, however, are lifelong learners. They are constantly reading, studying, and practicing new ideas. The magic number for this is 2 hours per day, or 10 hours per week. This is the time top performers invest in themselves to get better at what they do. While their friends are socializing or watching TV, high achievers are carving out this time to increase their value. Because of the power of compounding, this consistent investment leads to exponential growth in their income and career. They see themselves as self-employed, the presidents of their own personal services corporation, You, Inc. They know that to take more out, they must put more in. Your income is determined by 3 things: the work you do, how well you do it, and the difficulty of replacing you. Income improvement time is how you positively influence all 3. The fourth type of time is spare time. Out of 168 hours in a week, the average person has about 44 hours of spare time after work, sleep, and personal tasks. Unfortunately, most people spend this time on low-value, pleasurable activities. Tracy sees spare time as a personal byproduct, like a byproduct from a factory. It can either be discarded or it can be invested to create something even more valuable. When you invest your spare time in learning and developing new skills in your income improvement time, you combine that new knowledge with your existing skill base and you multiply your results and your income.
The 80-20 rule states that the top 20% of earners in any field earn 80% of the money. The major turning point in the lives of top people is when they make a do-or-die decision to become one of the best in their field and invest their spare time to make it happen. The fifth category is work time. This might sound the same as productive time, but Tracy makes a distinction. Work time is often filled with interactions with other people, meetings, phone calls, and collaborations. The great tragedy is, as the saying goes, you can't get any work done at work. This is because so much of your time is taken up responding to the demands of others. To be effective, you must learn to manage the 7 major time wasters. These include telephone and email interruptions, unexpected visitors, poorly managed meetings, firefighting and emergencies, procrastination, socializing and idle conversations, and indecision and delay. For each of these, you must have a strategy. For interruptions, batch your calls and emails and create quiet times. For meetings, always have a clear agenda and purpose. For procrastination, use the salami slice technique and break large tasks into small, manageable pieces. You must be brilliant on the basics. Set clear goals, plan your work, set priorities, and when you work all the time you work.
The sixth type of time is creative time. This is some of the most valuable time you can spend because one good idea can change your life and make you rich. Creativity requires you to back away from the busyness of daily life and let your mind function at a higher level. It's estimated that each person has about 4 ideas per year, any one of which could make them a millionaire if they followed up on it. The story of Uber is a perfect example. While the author and his family simply complained about not being able to find a taxi in San Francisco, 4 other businessmen had the same experience and saw an opportunity. They acted on a creative idea and built a multi-billion-dollar company. The enemies of creativity are the comfort zone, learned helplessness, and the fear of failure. To unlock your creativity, you must be willing to move out of your comfort zone and challenge your assumptions. Ask yourself provocative questions. What if my assumptions are wrong? Could there be a better way? One of the most powerful creative techniques is to think on paper. When you write, you activate your whole brain. To solve a problem, take a clean sheet of paper, write the problem as a question at the top, and then discipline yourself to write down at least 20 answers. The first few answers will be easy, the next few will be difficult, but often, a breakthrough idea will emerge toward the end of the list. This is called mindstorming, and it can unlock your superconscious mind to deliver incredible solutions. The 7th category is problem-solving and decision-making time. All of life is a series of problems. A goal unachieved is merely a problem unsolved. Your ability to solve problems determines how high you rise. The key difference between successful and unsuccessful people is what they think about. Unsuccessful people think and talk about their problems and who is to blame. Successful people think and talk about solutions and the actions they can take. You become what you think about, so if you dwell on problems, they grow. If you dwell on solutions, you discover more solutions. A powerful tool for this is constraint theory. For any goal, ask, what is the limiting factor or constraint that sets the speed at which I achieve this goal? Why am I not already at my goal? Usually, 80% of the reasons you're not at your goal are internal, a lack of a skill, a quality, or a discipline. By identifying and focusing all your energy on removing that one key constraint, you can make rapid progress. The 8th type of time is perhaps the one most at odds with the others: people and family time. This time determines perhaps 85% of your happiness in life. What you need to do to be successful at work is almost the opposite of what you need to do to be successful with your family. Work requires quality time, intense, focused work on high-value tasks. Family requires quantity time, long, unbroken, unstructured stretches of time. The happiest moments in life, the memories you cherish, almost always occur during these unbidden, unexpected moments of quantity time. To be truly happy, you must achieve a balance. A major source of stress is a lack of congruence between your stated values, for example, my family is most important, and your actual behavior,
For example, working long hours and never being home. The key is to be fully present. When you are with your family, be there 100%. Turn off the phone, close the computer, and focus single-mindedly on the other person as if they were the most important person in the world. Listening, truly listening, builds trust, which is the foundation of any healthy relationship.
This brings us to the 9th type of time, rest and relaxation time. All types of time are not the same. Just as productive time requires intense focus, rest and relaxation time requires that you do nothing productive at all. It turns out that wealthy, successful people sleep longer and take more time off than average people. You are a knowledge worker. You work with your brain. Your brain is your most valuable asset, but it's like a battery. It needs to be fully recharged to perform at its best. After 8 hours of work, your thinking ability begins to decline. After 10 hours, you are functioning at about 50% capacity. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. When you are tired, you are susceptible to stress and negativity, and you make poor decisions. The solution is to set rest as a priority. Sometimes the best use of your time is to go to bed early and get 9 or 10 hours of sleep. A powerful habit is to observe a Sabbath, one full day each week where you do no work at all. This one-day, two-night combination fully recharges your mental and physical batteries. During this time, you must allow no exceptions. If you interrupt your rest with just a little paperwork, it's like jerking the plug out of the socket. The recharging process stops. Instead of falling behind, you will find that after a period of complete rest, you will get more work done of a higher quality in the next few hours than you might have in an entire day of being fatigued. Finally, we arrive at the 10th type of time, quiet time. This is the time you spend alone with yourself in silence. It embraces spiritual development, mindfulness, contemplation, and meditation. The highest human ideal is the achievement of inner peace, and that can only be found in the quiet. In our world of constant busyness and electronic interruptions, we seldom have time to reflect. But as Aristotle said, wisdom is an equal combination of experience plus reflection. Without reflection, we don't learn from our experiences. A simple technique for this is to practice mindfulness by focusing on your breathing. Because you can only think one thought at a time, when you think about your breathing, you automatically stop thinking about anything else that might be causing you stress or anger. This allows the still, small voice of your intuition to be heard. You can practice solitude to solve problems. Go into a quiet place for 25 to 30 minutes. At first, your mind will race, but eventually it will become calm, and often the exact answer you need will simply appear in your mind, delivered by your superconscious. In summary, Brian Tracy's powerful message is that time is not a monolith. Your life is composed of at least 10 different kinds of time, each with its own rules and requirements. Strategic time for planning, productive time for executing, income improvement time for growing, spare time for investing, work time for collaborating, creative time for innovating, problem-solving time for overcoming obstacles, people time for connecting, rest time for recharging, and quiet time for reflecting. By learning to identify which type of time a situation calls for, and then applying the right mindset, tools, and behaviors for that specific time, you move from being a reactive victim of circumstances to the master of your own life. You stop being a ship without a rudder and become the captain of your destiny, charting a clear course toward your goals. This is the breakthrough system that allows you to take full control, not just of your schedule, but of the quality and direction of your entire life. By mastering your time, you truly do master your life.